Hello, all. This is Plume Silver, and I want to thank Bob and Bob. Merci. That's really nice of you to point this draw that I'm about to do here, and it's for Tim Ballard. Uh, it's the Sound of Freedom, the movie that they made, and also JD Vance were two kind of very similar. Um, Basically story of their life. There's a movie that's made and there's a book, and that's really interesting. And how much they're being attacked by the left also. That's a very interesting connection. So I said, oh, you know what? I'm going to go and do a grand tableau for Tim. And right away, okay, they mentioned Wikipedia. That's Wikipedia for you. Their conclusion at the end is the 2023 American Christian thriller film Sound of Freedom, starring Jim Caviezel, you know, the Passion of the Christ. Yeah, they're Christian, that's for sure. That's the Marine for you, I think. This is a highly fictionalized account of Ballard's work. Highly, they say. Now, apparently, there's also these women that are all attacking him, saying that his sexual gratification is all, this is all of a sudden, there's no children that have been saved. This is a big statement. And my cards are not showing that because it's all about the children. Unless I manifest this whole draw. But I'm following two people, JD Vance and him, Tim Ballard, on the same story. And we really could see that this is a heavy story. And this has got definitely something about the child trafficking. Because we got the child here in the house of dog. And where is the dog? The dog is in the house of Rider. And the Rider, for me, was the military. I wanted to have a card that represented that. And where's the Rider? In the house of Gentleman. And where's the man? Here, right under the children. So you could see how connected that is. Above him, this is an important line. What's said in his spiritual connection is definitely he's taking the opportunity to really expand this war, because he's at war here with the snake. He's got them, he knows where the ring is. He sees in the house. He's got them caught in the ring, because we got the ring here in the house across, and they're in trouble. You know, like they don't even know which path to take away, like to they're overwhelmed. Now, you look at the men here. I know this man is here. He's at the beginning of the story, at the bottom here, and he's at the end here. And at the top, I mean, not the end, but basically you need to pass through him. This is all about inspection and human trafficking. He's going to cut right through it. And he's going to cut right through the heart of the snake, like the one that are sort of like they're enemies right now, because he's in the house of snake. That bear is not a good bear, and it's a bear that they were trafficking. They're moving things, they're taking different paths, like they're trying to go behind things. It's in the house of bear. So we have to know that this agenda that he has is to catch these snakes. Okay, they're snaking around. It's all about like hidden, because we've got the cloud above it. It's all hidden agenda. There are all hidden, that ring, you know. But they're in trouble right now because there's a lot of men like him. Now, this is not about his personal life, because my question was about his work and in relation to JD Vance. And two cards showed up exactly the same position in the same house, and they also reflect each other. That means really we're talking about the story. I got it down to at the heart of it. In the house of heart, and the heart is in the key. JD Vance has had the same two cards. It's about flushing. It's about consciousness. It's humanitarian work. Okay, so right away, no, he never saved any children. You know, he only did molest woman that worked for him. That's the story out there. Okay, they're gonna attack him for that. So we got the king of diamond. Well, that's Trump too. That's the consciousness. You see, this is it's a spiritual war also, and it goes further than just on the earth plane, I believe, because we've got the star at the top. So that might also be an opportunity to start opening up the conversation about human trafficking that goes much further. But the Marine, you see, the Marine here are like really, really powerful. We got the sun in the house of mice. they really are taking the rats down. And where are they? They're in the house of shit. That's the Marine. That's the work they do. And they're really are like, you know, not afraid to take all these obstacles, to go through all the mountain and dig deep into these enemies, you know, because they're very powerful right now. His work, I believe, is a lot of it is to bring the consciousness into the consciousness above here. We got the fish into the public for them to know that. And we also have the bird. See, we're going to follow where the bird is. This is the bird, and the moon is in the house of bouquet. The bouquet is in the house of fox. So the gift, what he'll be recognized for, his gift is definitely how he catches, you know, with words, manipulation, conning these enemies, you know, that are like this group you see just here, because we see you've got the tower in the house of child. So it's a form of conning them, and there's a form to catch them, but it has to be exposed, you know, and because we've got the fox in the house of bird. So this is the way he's communicating all this information, and it's really hurting the left here. We got the woman. This is not about his personal life. That's why I wanted to see what's going on about the lady there. And I wanted to knight his cards to show you, when you knight the cards, they're going to be just like if you play chess, which card relates to his work. There's a story you follow. And here we go to the moon, which is the, you know, the moon here, the moon, the letter, and move that, the letter, the coffin, and the lilies. Okay, so he's going to be recognized for having a contract or being in contact with a group that are catching things, a contact of things that are like sort of trapping. And with the lilies, this is like definitely the wise ones. And this is the opportunity that they're taking here. We've got the clover here. And the reason I'm saying, because that's in the house of lily, I wanted to see what's in the house of lily. And the wise one, I call them the white hats, or they're very religious Christians also. I think they're all kind of connected. The house of lily here, we've got the clover. And what's the clover? Well, here it's a star. So they're really expanding this human trafficking catching game. And you see, we got the coffin in the garden. And basically, you see that man here? You need to go through this. He's going to cut right through. And he's at the top there. Top, that means at the top, it's like there is no future for this overwhelming snake in the house of snake. We got the bear, this overwhelming group that are, you know, trafficking humans, okay? And he's going to come right to it. And this is definitely military, marine, I would believe, sort of operation. And we've got one card that is in its own house, and it's the tree. Now, you always want to go see at the roots what it's sucking the life out of. It's not growing. This is what he's doing. It's the catch. It's like sucking the life out of this group, this institution that is in the house of a child, that are like basically they're going to lose their stability, because we've got the house in the center here, and these four cards are important because it's a catch. They're really like, by catching them all the time where they are, and then stopping the trafficking, the movement, the delivery in the house of lady, we've got the stork. So and in the house of stork, you've got the cloud. So you know they're hidden. So by, you know, sucking the life out of this institution, like go one by one, whatever they're doing. No, by the way, he's not, you know, he's not saving children. Well, I think they're in the Marine, you know, they're pretty powerful. And the woman here at the bottom here is like, you know, they're basically going to be stuck into a place that's, their stability's been sucked out, you know. Just having the tree there, this is intense, that line here. Her cards, when we knight her, we've got the whip. That's there's a war, there's a battle, and we've got the coffin. See, we knighted here, the coffin. They're at war, they're being trapped, and they're in big trouble. They can't even escape path. You know, we got the path here. They can't even escape. This enemy can't escape. We've got the path in the bear, so they can't escape. They're overwhelmed. They're snakes. They're just like, you know, wiggling around and because they're being cut, you know. So, and that's her night cart, and the next one is the mountain. So you got the whip, the coffin, the cross, and the sun. And where's the cross? What's in the cross? How's the cross? We've got the ring and the snake. They're all negative. They're all negative when they knight the woman. That's the left for you. They're dreaming a horrible dream right now. You know what they're doing is like they're dysfunctional. They're attacking the masculine, and the marine are reacting, and they're gonna catch them. So that's okay. You know, this is the game they want to play, but they're in huge trouble. Also, a lot of his talking right now in the media, because he's in the house of moon here, and he's having a lot of talk. He's a lot of rumors. Also, he attacks the left, the Democrats, the rats, because they're not even acknowledging the human trafficking. That should alarm anybody. The right, okay, so that means it doesn't exist. No, there's no human trafficking. It's just you know, some kind of fabulous story. Well, maybe there's a lot less than some of them claim. That's true, but you know, the numbers of missing children is horrendous. You know, and a lot of it is organs too. It's not just, you know, for sexual exploitation. A lot of it is that has not disappeared, but the Marine and like JD Vance, which at the heart of their solution, that's their key. This is where they're opening the door to. Just above, we've got the child here in the house, a dog, and the dog is in the right ear. You know, we could see that we need to trust this man here. This is his position, and he's at war. And the gentleman here is part of the Marine that are actually trying to catch and destabilize the trafficking. And this is an opportunity with also the white lilies, the wise people, to, you know, in the house. They're going to succeed. But him, it's through media and how he talks about the left, which mention nothing about human trafficking. They need to be questioned. The media does absolutely nothing to even ask them about that issue. But it's a dangerous situation. And we could see that the future is huge for him. He's at the bottom because he's got all this weight on him, and he's not in a good position right now because he had to quit, but he's still doing the work, and I think he's somewhere else in Mexico, but he's always talking about the left side, you know, the woman, the one that are, they're pretending to be, they're not even feminine. It's got nothing to do they're dysfunctional, twisted, way of describing the feminine left side. It's not even related to the truth of what the left should be dreaming and should be bringing forth into our reality, our consciousness, in our heart. See, consciousness, fish, and in the heart. This is humanitarian work, and these men on the right has to do this war. They have no choice. We're at this point right now. And eventually, when it's always going to be related to the children, and or the children and the innocence, you know, that's what we're talking about. So, because look, they're just above him here in the house of God. So it's like, I can't. The only two negative cards that are batted around him is the cloud here, but they're above the snakes, so they're hidden snakes, and he's standing there very confident. Look at him. He's basically looking at the snake. He said, really? You know, we're at war here, and I have a group with me, and this is not going to just disappear, you know, and this is going to be a long process. I don't think that he's in full control of it. These trouble, you see the cross is far away from him, And I mean, that cross is saying that these troubles are not over. They're just going to be continuing. But his role and what he'll be recognized in the House of Moon here, and that's in his line here of what he's following, is the conversation, the talk he has about it. And I'm really happy that I saw that JD Vance and Tim Ballard have both that card at the heart of this, and their solution is all about flushing the rats. But he's using information, and JD Vance is also doing that. And in the House of Mice, we have got the sun, so they're going to be successful flushing some of these rats, and they're going to expose them. They have no choice, and this is the gift, you see, through communication and using also tactics, because you see the gift here, we got the bouquet and the moon. So how he's going to be recognized is the tactics he's going to use to sort of expose or even lure these trafficking group into, because they're trapped between the fox and a gift that he has, by using, you know, talking and just like they use, even I think they use sometimes baits, you know, and so that you could see that with the fox, that this is what's happening. But that tree in the House of Tree there, and it's sucking the life out of this institution, that are this group here, the ring, see in the cross here, the ring of human trafficking, and they're, you know, like twisting, and they're losing the battle at this point. Or anyway, they're getting chopped, because we've got in the House of Coffin here, they're getting trapped, and this is becoming much more public awareness, because at the center here we've got the game of catching, and that is happening right at the center, and it's about the children and the way that this is helping and manipulation, and the Marine is working behind doors. I think with time we're going to see it. That movie, just The Sound of Freedom, has come out for some of the people that have never heard about what's going on, but it's only the beginning of it. This is a big war. I also picked three cards of tarot, and my question was just for Tim Ballard, and the one in the center, I got the sword. Well, you know, the Ace of Sword, that's a powerful, that represents him. That's the subject, the thing. That's a very powerful, solid sword, and you know, you don't mess up with the sword. At the same time, he's a little bit, okay, see the Two of Wands, he's been kind of removed. He had to remove himself, because you see with the two, because there was a lot of fighting from both sides. So he's has a hard time, but he's solid here. He's a warrior. And we got the Nine of Pentacles, which means he's got lots that he's catching. And this is all about the children. And the Nine of Pentacles is a card that is a master. Okay, so, but he had to remove himself a little bit, but he's still using his way to communicate about his work. So Tim Ballard, all these rumor of him invented this whole, or catching the human trafficking. It was, you know, from what they're trying to show with these court case, that this was all just for his sexual gratification. I don't know. I said, when you hear stuff like that, and you're like, wow, you know, and then they never seen any kids being, you know, saved. I don't know. I don't see it in the cards here. So, you know, I'm not there, so I don't know. But I really don't see, I see a relation with JD Vance, with these two cards. And I really see a friendly person. And he's really after catching the rings here. And he's right there in front of it. And he's at war with them. And then he's got the children at the top of his head there. And they're in the clouds. So you see, they're hidden. He's got the children in his mind. All right? Okay. Hopefully you like this. And that was for Tim Ballard. And I think I got that one wrapped up with these two men. Unless there's others that kind of relate to it. Hopefully you like that. Thank you.